Hi, my name is Sheila and this is my channel, Seaside Snuggles Quilts, Patterns, and Crafts, where I focus mainly on quilts, but will craft anything that tickles my fancy. Today though, we are going to talk about YouTube communities and how you can post your makes to your favorite YouTube creators community, if they have one. Now, if you've been following me, I've been talking about posting your quilts for months, not understanding that YouTube had only opened that feature on mobile devices. So today, I'm going to go over how to post your quilts or pictures or comments to the community using your mobile device, and how to do that using your PC, because they just opened that up in the last few days. I hope you'll join me. Even if you're not a quilter, you will find this useful for engaging in the communities of your favorite creators if they have them. So we're going to start by talking about what are the communities. Communities are kind of like Reddit, where you can post a picture and get feedback from other members of the community, and it's connected to an individual's creator page if they've enabled it. It's optional. Also, who can post, when they can post, and how the channel community is moderated is based on choices made by the individual creators. So they might have different conditions depending on where you're going to join the community. For my community, you must be a subscriber and have been subscribed for 1 week before you can post to the community. Now, your posts are all going to be public, and if you unsubscribe and resubscribe, that time starts over. Okay? Just so you know. Now, posting to a community via your mobile device, whether that be a phone or a tablet, is very different from posting to a PC. So we're just going to start with the mobile device because that's what came out first. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is navigate to the page for the YouTube channel that you are a part of the community. Then you want to look for the community right here in the middle of the page on the right. So it's right underneath the description for the channel. Select community, and the community settings are determined by the creator. So you may not be able to post to the community unless you're a subscriber. There may be a certain amount of time that you need to be a subscriber before you can post. You may need to be a channel member. There are different criteria for different channels. For my channel, as of today, December 10th, you must be a subscriber for 1 week before you can post to the community. Once you're on the community tab, if you want to post, you can select what's on your mind. If you don't want to post, you just want to see what's going on, you can scroll down the community and see what's been posted. So far, it's just been me. So if you want to post, and I would love to see your quilts, what you do is select what's on your mind, and then you can create a post. So I'm going to post my first around the world quilt. My first around the world quilt. I'm very excited about that. So after I decide to type what I want to type, I can change it. Here where the edit tab is, it allows you to use AI to change the tone or shorten your post. So if I wanted to shorten it, I'd select shorten, and then my first world quilt, I don't want that, so I'm just going to deselect it because it's the around the world quilt, right? The other thing that you can do is change the tone. There are 4 tones to choose from, so I'm going to select funny, see what it comes up with. Nailed it, my first around the world quilt. Spoiler, I stayed in my sewing room. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to leave it at my first around the world quilt, but I am going to add some quotations so that you know that's what it's called. Then I want to add a picture of it. So I'm going to go to photos down here, and I like to manage my photos so that all my photos just aren't there for YouTube. And I'm going to select my around the world quilt. What I do want to say is, if you don't edit it before you bring it in here, The only editing option for the actual photo that you had is to change the filter. So if you need to crop it or anything like that, do that before you bring it into your selection here. So this one I actually have edited, so I'm going to select that, and I'm actually going to select this one also to show that you can post more than one photo, and select next. If you have a photo that's not a square, you want to choose the location that you want to focus on. That will be a square. Then I'm going to decide if I want to select adding text, changing the filter, or adding stickers or emojis. So to add text, select the AA here to the right, and then type whatever you want to add. I'm going to type around the world. Okay. Here to the right hand side is a slider where you can change the scale of your text. And I want it to be just one line, so I'm going to have it be that size. I can also change the color that is my background for the text by using this color selection tool here. So let's choose teal. Okay. So brown. I think, is there an orange? Let's go with the orange. If you don't like the outline style, you have a few more styles here for the background. You have a solid, an opaque. You can change the color of the text itself, and those are your options for the style. You can also move your text so that it's formatted to the left, to the right, or to center. You can change the font here in the center. There's 8 fonts, I believe. And once you select done, you can use your 2 fingers to resize the words or change the orientation, like this. I'm just gonna put it like this, I think. And if I'm gonna put it there, I think I want to change the color. So to get back there to editing, select the text again and change the color. Oop, I didn't do it. Change the color. All right, so now I have around the world. If I want to change the filter, I can select the second selection here, and you have 20 filters to choose from, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can see what some of them do here. If you don't like the filter, just select the no filter, and then select the check button. And you also have the ability to choose stickers or emojis. And I think I'm going to go with the sticker that I used before, which is this I love my subs, but because I used it before, I can choose recent and find it right here. Then I can do the same thing I did before, resizing it with my 2 fingers, moving it, rotating it, all with 2 fingers. Okay, then select next, and then I could move to the next photo and edit it. And this one I'm going to change to Koshki, baby quilt. I can resize it. I think I want it to be a straight line again, and I want to change the font like that. And I think I want to make the background, oh, I like that teal a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to select done, and I'm going to move this to where I want it. And I'm going to go with an emoji this time. Let's go with a recent, which is this one. I love it. PB. And let's make it a little smaller. Next. So now I've added 2 photos and I've edited them, and I think I'm going to take the around the world off. And that means I need to change my text, so I can just delete that and type baby koshki quilt. And then I can post it. If I don't want to post it, I can select the X here, and it'll ask if I want to discard the post. But I want to keep going, so post. And now I have a community post on the Seaside Snuggles quilt page. So if you would like to share your quilts, I would love to see them. Let's go to the PC and see how we do it there. Now you know how to post using your mobile device. Next, we're going to talk about how to post using a PC. It is quite different, and I expect there to be some changes in the future because it's much more limited right now than the mobile, but it just came out December 2025. So, or maybe November it came out, the end of November. Anyway, 2025, end of year, holiday season is when the ability to post to communities came out for PC. Let's look at how you post to a community using PC. Now we're going to look at how to post using the PC. You want to start by looking for the channel that you want to post to. So we're going to post to Seaside Snuggles, Quilts, Patterns, and Crafts. I did a search for it, and there it is. I'm going to select the channel. Once you get to the channel, you can see whether or not you're subscribed. I invite you to subscribe. Also, here's where you can decide whether or not you want notifications. I do recommend them for this channel because I don't post on a regular basis. I post when I get a project done. So, if you are subscribed to my channel, then after a week, you'll have permissions to post in the community. Different creators have different rules, and that's just how I have mine set up. So once you're on the channel page, you can select Visit Community, and this is very different from posting using a mobile device. When you post here, you're going to default to the top comments or top community posts, which has just been me so far, and you're going to select what's on your mind, and from there you can type whatever you want to type. I'm going to just paste what I already have typed in, which is my first around the world quilt. Then if you want to post an image, you can select image, and you can either drag your image or you can select from your computer. Now, if you drag an image, and you want to drag more than one image, you need to drag them all at once, or you'll have to go into the folder for your second, third, up to 10th picture. Now, there are some rules here that I want to point out to you. First, down here, upload an image with an aspect ratio between 2:5 and 5:2. Only select images or GIFs that you have permission to use. So, what is the ratio? It's a ratio 2:5 or 5:2. That means that you can post a picture that has a ratio of 2, like a square that is 2x2, or up to 5x5, and all of the rectangles in between. However, the only thing that's going to show is a square footprint. And let me show you what I mean. So I have this image I'm going to drag from off screen, and you see that there's a problem with the file selected. Choose another image, but it doesn't tell you what the problem is. The problem with this particular file is that it is 17 megabytes and the maximum is 16 megabytes. So that's the other condition that your photo needs to meet if you're using PC. So I cropped one. I'm going to drag that in, and that one came in. Now I'm going to put on the side of the screen what the image is actually that I have just dragged into the folder, but it is a rectangle, and what you're seeing is just a square and the option to edit preview. On the mobile device options, you can do a lot of things to your photograph here. Here, when you select edit preview, you're just deciding what position you want to show in your post. If you're particular photo is not a square. Okay, now you can see all of my rectangle. I can decide what position I want to put it in and then save the preview. That's it. That's my only editing option here. If I want to add more photos, I can select the add photo option, and then I have some other photos to choose from. So this photo that I'm going to choose is 2 units wide by 5 units tall. A little bit different than that. And when I formatted it, it was 2 by 5, and then this one is 5 by 2. So let's add those. And you can add them one at a time. And let's see what does for editing that preview. So when I click on this one and I edit the preview, this is my tall one. So it will let me put the whole thing on there, but I can only have a portion of it displayed. And I'm going to slide it down here so you can see which one it is when it's showing. This one is my wide aspect. And when I go to edit that, I can slide it left or right, but I'm still only going to see a square. Okay, so I'll save that preview. I also have another one, and this is how I recommend posting your photos if you want your whole quilt to show, is to make a square up to 5 by 5. So when I say 5 by 5, I don't necessarily mean 5 inches by 5 inches or 5 pixels by 5 pixels. That would be tiny. Just a square. Okay. Your multiple, whatever X is, will work. So I place this on a teal square just so that you can see where the square lands, and place my full quilt top in the middle. But just for aesthetics, I prefer using a black square. There we go. And this is the same as this one. I've just used a black background. And that way I can get my whole quilt on the screen. So I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to select Post. And you'll notice that I had my Around the World quilt title, and I had 5 photos, but nothing showing except this little image tab for what I posted here. What you need to do is just give it a few minutes to upload your information. Once it's uploaded, try going to Newest, and there you should see your post. So here's my first Around the World quilt, and then I can scroll through the photos. This is my just cropped photo, so you see that I don't have the whole quilt there. This one is my tall photo, and you can't, like, if the viewer can't scroll around and see the rest of it. This is the wide aspect photo. This is my full quilt on a teal square background, and this is my full quilt on a black square background. So now I have a post on the community tab for Seaside Snuggles Quilts, Patterns, and Crafts, and you can too. Now you know how to post using a mobile device and how to use PC. I hope the members of my community will share all their lovely quilts. I'm so excited to see it, especially the things that you've made for Christmas gifts. And you're like, I know you're like how I feel when I made a Christmas gift. I can't wait for the person to see it. Now you'll be able to share it with everybody once they see it, and I cannot wait. If you are not a quilter, but you love crafting, I hope you'll subscribe and stick around and participate in the group, because there's going to be some lovely quilts posted here, I'm sure of it. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments or in the community, and I'll be sure to respond to them. I am going to be traveling for a couple of weeks, so my responses may be delayed, but I will respond. That said, I'm not sure if I'm going to get another quilt video out before Christmas. Oh, this is my first Around the World quilt. It's on my bucket list. So I think I'm going to do a video on that. If I don't post before Christmas, I will be gone for a couple weeks. I will respond to comments, but it may be a little delayed. And I just want to wish you the happiest of holidays. I hope you get to spend time with your loved ones. That's the most important thing. And I will see you in 2026.